Hey guys, welcome back to Gone with the Whisk. Today I am doing a cake inspired by the new Little Mermaid movie. Actually, a friend of mine, Taylor, ordered this cake for her little girl. She brought in a few different reference photos, and this is what I came up with. The Ariel here is printed onto gum paste instead of fondant, and we actually have a food coloring printer at the bakery which prints directly onto fondant, gum paste, macarons, cookies, even cupcakes. It's really cool. So I printed Ariel here on some gum paste, and I'm using the bottle of food coloring there to support her head because it will dry standing straight up like that. Be a little cool 3D element to the cake. Now I am piping on some buttercream with what I think was a number 6 tip. And you can see I added that seashell there. That is actually some chocolate that I made the night before, and I really wish I had thought to record it at the time. But I was at work super late and just rushing to get through some stuff. And I didn't think about it until too late. But what I did was take some white chocolate and some candy melts in different colors, and I put them in our molds and froze them to get like several batches done quickly. And then I took powdered food coloring and powdered like gold, and it's all food safe, and some brushes, and I hand painted each one of these chocolate pieces with that. They look really, really pretty and sparkly in person. Even where I took the blue and added in like greens and other blues, it just gave it depth, and same with the pinks and purples. But here I am just adding in all of these little elements. Hey, I want to give a huge shout out to Cheryl. Sorry, I had to like pull this back up. Cheryl, I woke up this morning and saw that she gave me my first super thanks on here for $20. That was completely unexpected. Thank you so much. But so now I am just adding in more coral reef pieces around the cake. I did like a few sections at a time and started adding in the chocolate pieces just so the buttercream wouldn't crust too much and everything would stick easier. Now just going back in with starfishes, shells, turtles, and fish. And different styles of each one too. I made a ton of these different pieces because I didn't know how much I would need. And I wound up making sure I used every one because it's always better to go a little overboard than it is to not do enough. Alright, and just adding in some more. Trying to do some big coral reef pieces and some smaller, just to kind of fill in the cake and add some dimension to the appearance. And this is like very sped up. I sped up like the progress and also cut out every time I had to go to the front and help a customer, or when I had to stop and change colors of buttercream or bags or anything. I trim all that out. One 10-minute video for a cake could actually take a few hours depending on how elaborate a cake is. I did a cake today at work. It was a Hello Kitty cake, and I'm pretty sure I probably spent 3 hours on it. There was so much detail. I kind of thought it was never going to end. I have to get a picture of that in the morning before it gets picked up and post to Instagram for you guys. But here, I think I'm adding in the last section of coral. And then I will fill that up with some more chocolate pieces. And now I'm just going back in and filling in a few spots, throwing in some more chocolate. Right. Like I said, I've made a lot of these shells and I wanted to use them all. And now I'm just going back in, and now that the fish and turtles are taking up a lot of the wreath areas, I'm just extending some of the wreath just to make sure it doesn't look too funny. Alright, now the gum paste is dry and Ariel's head is standing up. I'm just smoothing out the buttercream. There's an indentation under the bottle. And I also made these chocolate mermaid tails when I did the sea creatures. And they are painted with the gold dust too. Alright, so now I am adding in more coral, just a different style. These are big swirls with a 1M tip. I'm just kind of doing them all over the cake here. And now I'm doing some purple dollops with a 32 tip. And some white with, is it called a pastry chip? That's what we refer to it as at work. I don't know if it has an actual number. I'm just filling in all these spaces, and now I'm sticking in the mermaid tails. You can't quite see them here, but give it just a minute and I'll have the cake pulled forward. And I'm just adding in some buttercream on the back sides to support them. And now I am adding in some brown sugar to look like sand. This doesn't add a whole lot of sweetness to the cake or any crunch, like graham cracker crumbs would. But it just adds another layer of dimension and just looks really cool. So I'm adding in our sand here to all these empty gaps because we want to kind of cover up some of that pink just to make it look more like the seafloor. And like I said, it's just sped up so you can see that the mermaid tail there was sagging a lot. So I had to go back and add some more buttercream to the back of it. But that's already looking a whole lot different than it did a moment ago. I'm just going to add in some more sea animals and shells up here. Like I said, I've made a bunch of these, so I'm trying to use them all up. Now, just keep going around. Where did I go? There we go. Alright, now I'm just adding in some more of our sea creatures. And just a little more sand. I'm trying to be careful not get it on top of the coral or let it fall down the sides and stick to the cake there. Right, and now I'm adding in some white pearl sprinkles in different sizes that look kind of like bubbles. This just to add some extra texture and dimension to the cake. It's getting close. Now I'm going to add in some white buttercream with what I think was a 3 or 4 tip to add in some bubbles to the side of the cake. I mean, this looks really busy and almost kind of cluttered, but it all just kind of helps bring together the top and the sides of the cake and just fill in all this negative space with some just more visual interest. Plus, I mean, when you have a birthday cake, over the top just kind of looks a little more special and extravagant. Just filling in. And you notice I didn't make the sides of the cake like super smooth or anything, because when you have all of this detail, you don't have to have perfectly smooth cake sides. They can have some texture because it kind of just looks like it's part of the design, like it's waves in the water or something. I'm just going around with these little bubbles, making some look like the fish or turtles are breathing them out. And the rest are just kind of random. Alright, now I'm going to add in this ruffle. I should have done it before I added the chocolate pieces, but I wasn't sure if I was going to add the ruffle or not right until like right at this point. So what it is a petal tip that I kind of just lay flat and go in a wavy motion. You'll see here in just a second. Let me reposition the camera. So I just kind of go in this weird little wavy motion around the cake, in and out, kind of up and down. And then for some reason, for the second layer, I went in the opposite direction, but it wound up being a lot smoother. So I guess whatever I did worked. But the smoother texture and the rougher texture combined looked pretty good for the cake. So now here is the side of the finished cake. And in just a second, I'll do a close-up of the top. And then we'll go up front to the better lighting and we'll get a really good shot of the whole cake. And while this kind of spins around, just remind you to like, share, and subscribe. If you have any friends who enjoy baking or cooking, be sure to tell them about my channel. I'd love to have them join us. Here's the cake itself. Finished. There's a lot going on. It's really elaborate and really pretty. Taylor loved it. She actually had me do a cake for her next kid's birthday. It was a Addams Family theme. You can find that photo on my Instagram. But this just kind of turned out really good. And I haven't done a cake like this in a while. Need to find something cool. But thank you guys for watching. I'm so glad you came to hang out in the kitchen, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.